my name is Jim, and this is your Daily Brogue for August the 24th, 2021. So I was thinking that possibly, maybe for today, could be and good idea maybe to try to focus on the game rather than to talk about crap I don't know shit about. But then I made a blog post about shit I don't know shit about, so I was thinking maybe I'd talk a little bit about that. What do I mean by shit I don't know shit about, right? So, one thing that I really don't know anything about is dating. I don't do it anymore, right? But I get really pissed off at the red and the blue pill, or red and the black pill people. Those guys really annoyed me. Red pill a little bit, the black pill a whole lot. Because the black pill dudes just seem to be defeatists. So, pickup artists, men going their own way. I mean, they're just shit. So, I don't see any good reason to support them in any way, and I see some good reason to try to refute them. And actually, I think I gave some good advice, right? But you might not. Thing is, the first thing you have to do is, see, I'm already doing it, is you have to actually meet women. So that's one of those sorts of things that I don't know anything about, but it just seemed to me like these guys were so busy not really knowing what they wanted that they weren't getting it, right? And that was pretty annoying to me, right? I mean, if you should figure out, do you want to get laid, right? And that's perfectly fine if you want to get laid. When I was 18, I always wanted to get laid, I assure you. Or do you want to, meet a girlfriend, find somebody you like and want to spend time with? Two different things. And it just seemed like these guys didn't get that. So I spent a lot of time on that one. Another one I spent a lot of time on was capitalism. Partially in my view that socialism is sort of the same. Socialism is to capitalism as pickup artists are to dating. That sort of thing. So that may or may not be fair. It doesn't really matter if it is, right? Okay, this is bad. Try to heal upstairs. Okay, what have I got? Write that one out. If it's not cursed, then the axe is probably a benefit. But it's cursed. Alright. Seem to be beneficial anyway. Let's see how bad it is later. And so now that blog post, the thing that I want to talk about is ranked choice voting. Again, I don't know the ins and outs of it, and I've maybe read one book about the mathematics of it, right? That sort of thing. So it may have been just about different voting systems and stuff like that. I think the thing you have to remember about voting systems is that none of them work. They're all wrong. People who are in favor of ranked choice voting have one goal, and that's superseding basically everything else. So that's their choice, right? But I mean, we have to remember that as people who may or not share that goal, right? We have to remember that they want this particular voting system not to correct problems with the voting system itself, the one that exists, but they want this particular voting system because it, in some way, they think gives them an advantage, right? So I mean, these are just things we have to be cognizant of, but it's not too much of an issue, really. It's just unfortunate that New York screwed it up. Now, there's a good axe. We have to try to get that monkey. Can I sneak out and grab the good axe? Yes, I can. Okay, so now, well, G is probably enchanting, so we'll get rid of that. Drop Q, equip F. And things I don't like, and things I don't need, and I'll keep the broadsword just in case. But we'll probably get rid of it later. Okay, so what was up, I think, with the ranked choice voting stuff? Well, in particular, I felt that, you know, I'm not too worried about how the Board of Elections, the New York Board of Elections, actually did what they did. I mean, they didn't do it correctly. There's some hiccups. That's okay. It's one, just a primary, and two, a right, it's a primary, that's all, and two, it's a let's keep them interested. It's the first time they did it. Now, I may have said, I may not have said, that ranked choice voting is not sort of my first choice. I don't like it very much. And you see some of the reasons why here. It seems to be a very expensive way to get the same result you would have gotten otherwise. Right? Acts of quietus. Okay. Don't need the broadsword. Just need the okay. So ranked choice voting itself, I'm not super into. However, I do think that it's better than what is that thing? A regular primary. So if it was done correctly, ranked choice voting becomes basically an instant primary. That means you only pay for your primary once. Right? If you have a primary, or a if you have an election and you have a runoff, and then you have to pay for the election twice. And this is a primary. I don't see any good reason why the state of New York should be paying for the Democratic primary, right? But given that you're going to pay for the election in the first place, right, then you should probably try to make it as cheap as possible. I mean, if you're going to get more or less the same result no matter what you do, or if you're going to get, if every voting system as it is going to have its problems about choosing sometimes the wrong person, then it would be well if you were to just if you were to choose the cheapest method, I guess is one way to put it. The best voting system would then be the cheapest voting system. And again, if they were doing things right, rather than having screwed it up, then New York would have chosen a cheaper voting system than sort of the primary election or the runoff election that is traditional that they're replacing. So in that case, I'm in favor of the primary, right, or the ranked choice voting, because your options are between real options. What are people actually going to do? And oops, put it on this. And people are not. Let's see, try to make sure that the acid mountain doesn't wake up. It looks like people are willing to pay for the privilege. They're willing to pay for the ranked choice voting. They're not willing to just go with whoever actually wins, right? If you have a good constitutional system, then the plurality winner is just as good as anyone, right? It's as good the plurality winner is a pretty good approximation to the real winner, right? Let's see, do I make it? I do. Okay. So that being the case, stay with the plurality winner, right? I mean, it's cheap. And at least in this case, I mean, it's not even changing the it's not even changing the result. So got one I can handle. So I'd be happy if they just went with the plurality winner. And after all this commotion, they probably still will with the ranked choice voting. It just makes people feel better, except that, because it's sort of fucked up, since it's all screwed up. It's not making people feel better. It's making people feel pretty awful. But if it was done right, there'd be no issues. Again, though, it was done wrong. Oh, very good. Identify something. B. Okay, I can predict lots of weapons, and I'm pretty strong now. So, again, to me, personally, those, I don't recall what are those. Another Warhammer. Ranked choice voting is the best out of the possible alternatives. It's better than the runoff because it's cheaper, right? It does have a possibility of ballot fatigue. That's fine. If people think it's too, in my view, if people think it's too hard to have, to vote, right, in some way, right, to say, okay, I like this guy better than that other guy, that's sort of telling me about how much they really care about the election, right? So that's that's okay. They can lose their vote for that reason. I don't care. So I think this is better than a regular runoff because of cost reasons. It should be almost the same. I also think it is better than like a jungle primary, where they throw everybody, everybody who even is considering to run for office for a particular position, right? So, I mean, this is one of the things. Primary. I don't like primaries. I would prefer if I don't like primaries in general. I would prefer if people who actually cared about the party and the future of the party made those choices rather than a random selection of activists or whatever it is. That's what we get in the United States. That's what the primary election does. Right. So, but, I mean, if you're going to completely screwing up your ballots for the primary election, which is choosing who's going to be, which is presented as, it's not really the, but it is presented as, very good. The parties choosing their candidates. So if you're going to screw something up, screw that one up, because it's less important, right? It's a less important election and so forth. But just because the first time you see it, yeah, this isn't the first time I've seen it, but just because the first time you've seen something doesn't mean it's it's bad because somebody screwed it up, right? Just means that the first time you do something, you don't get it right. Correct? And, alright, crap. We're all aware of that, right? We know that the first time is not necessarily the best time that you do things. For my students, I try to convince them that they have to do everything at least 3 times, right? And why do they have to do things 3 times? Well, I mean, you don't get them right the first time. Not surprising, right? Also, when you do it wrong, you have to try to figure out, well, what could I do to do it right? How would that work? Right? Okay, right by the troll, of course. So where did the troll go? Okay, way over there. Okay, good. All right, so I'm not sure if it's true, but I have had the feeling in the past. That when you teleport creatures away, they wandering, it doesn't follow me. Good. So ranked choice voting, I'm in favor of better than jungle primaries or runoffs in general. Ah, crap. I was upset because I pressed screwed up my armor. Which wasn't very good armor, but it's the only armor I've seen. Right, so that's a deal there. Okay, what do I? Oh, I have linking. It's a vampire dude. Alright, so okay, so I did get a cage key out of it. Another scroll of enchanting. Got one thing I really care to enchant. What is this thing up here that I missed? Identify. Absolutely. Okay, need a potion of strength, but kind, how kind. Let's go get the identify. So that'll tell me if I can but even though, you know, the general problem of these guys screwing up a little bit, you know, we can see, right? I do hate it when the allies sort of choose my battles for me. In this case, I'm not even sure what battle it's chosen. That's not the way I want to go. Okay. So she destroyed that entire thing just by wasting time. Okay, let's get in there. Okay. Let's try a couple of these guys. Remove curse. One of those things was bad. the protect armor. Okay, so drop. I drop L drop D drop, and look at all that junk. Else drop. I have a life potion. I do. Okay, so I can take a chance. Why did I do that? Drop. I got this plus 10 acts of quietus. So the see, that was alright, and this is the other good one. Okay, so my dudes, telepathy. Crap. I lose my. Oh, crap. She was good too. I don't know, she's around. Good. But we do want to make sure that we don't think that everything was rosy with New York's system, right? There's a huge problem with it. That has to do with these absentee ballots, right? One of the things, if you look at the mathematics behind different voting systems, right? You have these ranked choice voting systems. The order in which you eliminate candidates, basically some can choose the winner, right? So, I mean, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what you want to worry about, but that is a problem, right? And it's the sort of problem that you would think that the people who are, running around somehow ended up with some magical plate mail. It's just +2 plate mail. But if I find another strength potion or two, then why the hell not, right? So you do these things out of order, right? Then I am hasted. Do these things in different orders, then what happens? Well, you get a different result. This means that doesn't necessarily mean you'll end up with a different result, as we've seen here. It's, we're going to go through all of this rigmarole, all of this actual sort of hatred and what is that? Drama. What we're going to find is that the plurality winner is going to be the going to end up, the plurality winner is going to end up being the actual winner of the contest, right? This is the sort of thing that happens, actually, right? So it's not terribly strange, it's not tragic or anything like that, it's just something that's going to be super annoying, right? And I can see that I'm building up to my loss now. I can feel that. So we're going to have a lot of recriminations and yelling and screaming and crap like that, just because, because of this. And in the end, we're going to end up with the same result, right? We're going to end up with the same dude winning. However, in principle, it wouldn't be the same dude winning. Right? In principle, it could be any of the candidates. Well, maybe not any of the candidates, but some candidates more than others. Oops. got two of those things. Themes already? Crap. Where am I? Okay. Those guys run in packs, and that makes life hard. Alright, so as you eliminate candidates, right, in ranked choice voting, we'll all remember, as you eliminate candidates, you allocate the votes of the eliminated candidates to the non-eliminated candidates, to the still available candidates. The problem with ranked choice with absentee ballots, the way they've done this, is that they've eliminated candidates with or I should say without, they've eliminated candidates. Who's shooting me? Pixie. That almost shoot me in, and I didn't even notice. Yeah, I'm going to drink life anyway, so oh crap. So the issue there, teleportation, how nice, is that, crap, agile pink jelly, don't really know what that means. Look at all those bastards. It's insane. What's this? Potion of strength. Is that nitro? Okay, so this means we actually end up with second-class ballots, right? So absentee ballots, in the way I presented this, uh-oh. What did I get? I got a door key. Okay. Good. So in the way I presented this, absentee ballots in New York's voting system are second-class ballots. I guess that's the way I put it in the blog post. Right? Transmutation altar. Commutation altar. And that's exactly what I don't care about, right? Potion of detect magic. There we go. I don't have a key anymore. I've got some food. I will just see if I can find the way out. Potion of life. Let's go this way. Nothing there. Well, that's one way to lose your plate mail. I'm no longer feeling so awesome. Okay. So a first-class ballot would participate in both of these processes, right? The final tally, right, as well as, oops, the initial assessment, or the elimination round, basically. What is this? Just carve it there. There we go. Another commutation alter. All right. Oh, maybe I can. I don't know. Let's see. No, that doesn't look good. Okay, so I almost did something stupid. Of course, I was already doing something stupid. Okay, so we have these second-class ballots. And my wife is going to show up in just a moment. The thing where this starts to get a little bit weird is And like I was saying, to me at least, if people want to choose voluntarily to make their votes worth less, that's generally fine by me. However, I think it's a little bit on the disingenuous side for some of the proponents. So most of the proponents, at least in the United States, of ranked choice voting tend to be, well, this was a Democratic Party, and they tend to be Democrats, right? So when they do things like this, what they intend is to, do I have negation? No. The intent is, to explosive resonance. Hopefully I choose the right. Wait, this is the exit. I did not find the exit. Crap. Yeah, thank you. That's what I needed. Oh. I did not realize that the quietus killed the revenants. I didn't have to worry about it as much as I thought I did. So I'm just going to use it. We are kind of looking for speed here, not for... anything else. Okay, so I will not need all this food in the next 2 levels. However, I will need it on the way back up. If I make my way back up, which I probably won't. So, yeah, start off 1A. No, I'm just about to eat one, right? Okay, so Alright, so we have these second class ballots. And how do I do this? And they are second class. They're second class actually because of the counting procedure, but I mean in general the second classitude, or whatever you would like to call it. One way you could say it is I have two schools of identifier now. They're second class. Oh, depth 23. Okay, so I should have done that first. Been through my run and my family time, and my breakfast and all that fun stuff. So let's see what we can do now. I should probably not. Yeah. I will not talk about my run. What I will instead try to do is focus on this, but the first thing I have to do is figure out exactly what I was talking about. So what was I talking about? I was talking about the... What was that stupid thing? The voting stuff, the ranked choice voting. I think I gotten to the point where the essential paradox shows up. So what happens, it's too much for detect magic. What have I got? So the thing that's going to make life a little difficult, I have a strong feeling that I have to go all the way down there. Am I on fire? Oh, my allies infested. Crap. Do I see a... Oh, crap. Alright, let's jump over here. That probably just killed my dude. Okay. Okay, there's the way down. Do I have a magic mapping? I do. Do I want to save it or do I want to use it now? It's only got 2 or 3 levels before it's time to run. Very rare to get down this far. So, you may or may not know this. I'm not sure. But the currently, let's see, where is the exit? Currently there's a sort of feeling, so if we go this way, we get to the exit. Right, so let's... Do I have telepathy? No. One blinking left. So currently there's a bit of, I don't really want to call it a debate. There's a claim, at any rate, that not allowing absentee ballots is racist. Okay, and the idea here is that more black people burning let's see where I end up. There's a dragon, obviously. Okay. 2 enchanting scrolls, I better use them. Okay. Okay, so this is where the Amulet of Endor abides. I don't know if it counts. So Okay, this is like super bad. Okay. And that's the end of that. And what? Whoops. Well, that was bad. It was on depth 26 at least. So there is an idea that is racist. This is in the air, right? It's been said by many people, not people I prefer to spend a lot of time arguing with, but by a lot of people, that the should have had more faith in that thing. That because more black people use those ballots, then it's racist to put limits on them. Like, I mean, right now they're saying, you know, requiring the voter to register at least 11 days before the election, right? In order to get their vote. Yeah. In order to get their ballot. Now, that's easy. You start just counting days, right? Register, let's say 2 days processing, 2 days to get there, right? 2 days to get to the location. That's 4, let's say 5 days. Then 2 days to get back if it's been after it's been filled in, probably, you know, gets there 1 day, then it's going to be the next day before it gets sent off, so that's another day. So you're already at 8 days, right? You have at least 1 weekend in there, possibly 2. No, definitely 2, because voting day is on a Tuesday. Basically, 11 days is the minimum for the vote to get back to the people. You know, when you ask somebody for the ballot, it's really 11 days at the minimum, right? If nothing goes wrong, it's 11 days to get that ballot turned around and in the hands of the people on voting day. So that's why they say, well, you have to accept late ballots. So no, you don't, right? You don't have to accept late ballots, right? But that's another thing. If you're going to use an absentee ballot, then I don't think it's unreasonable to ask that it actually physically gets to the location it's supposed to be by the day before, even voting day, because, you know, election day is really hectic. And we want to be able to count those votes. We want to have a real outcome as soon as possible. Right? We should be able to figure out the outcome very, very quickly. There's no excuses for waiting days and days for an outcome. So we have that first issue. People are saying it's racist even to ask people to have, at the minimum, you know, to register, to ask for a absentee ballot, basically the minimum amount of time to get there. Whoever made that 11-day rule, I think that was in Georgia, they just use their fingers and count it, and they know what's going on with the mail system and stuff like that. So I would have even gone 2 weeks, maybe the Friday before 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. Then there's the I didn't know dragons could carry things. New thing. I learned. I died, but I learned. But now we just saw that if these ballots don't get there on time, and the people who are making the argument, oh, I should have, damn it, I didn't even notice this is the amulet of Yendor. This is where I wanted to go. I saw these little things, I just didn't notice that. So I thought it was shown on here. I just hadn't noticed it for some reason. Probably because I was talking. So now we have this problem with the second class ballots, right? If those ballots are getting in with ranked choice voting after election day, and if they're being counted after election day even, and if the and I think they should be counted before election day, honestly. But anyways, and if the people who are saying that you have to allow this late voting for this basically late voting for online ballots, if they are correct, then if they are correct in saying that this is mostly minorities casting these late ballots, then you're saying that these minority votes are second-class votes, right? You're saying, blacks are second-class citizens, essentially. At least with their own logic. So you end up with this problem. Not allowing these late votes is racist, but allowing them is also racist. Okay? So we're stuck. Allowing them and disallowing them, both racist. So all voting is racist, right? Your democracy is fascism, is basically the idea that you're led to from the logic that not allowing absentee voting is racist. Okay? That's just the way it is. If you believe in systemic racism, then democracy is fascism, and the world has come to an end. I know.